Hello and welcome to Mouse House Plus. This is episode 29. John is on assignment and joining me via the phone lines. I have the XD. XD, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you. Um, I just wanted to talk about a couple things this week. One that was super surprising, and I'm going to get into it right now. Let me read this. It says Disney's decision to release the Black Widow movie on Disney Plus at the same time it hit theaters has sparked a legal battle with Scarlett Johansson. In a lawsuit filed Thursday in Los Angeles Superior Court, attorneys for Johansson alleged that the star's contract was breached when the studio opted not to debut the film exclusively in theaters, a move they claim depressed ticket sales for the Avengers spinoff. Much of Johansson's compensation was tied to the box office performance of Black Widow. If it hit certain benchmarks, bonuses would kick in. Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of the agreement without justification in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel. The suit reads. Wow. On July 9th, Black Widow set a pandemic era box office record with its $80 million debut in North America and earned an additional 78 million overseas. It also pulled in 60 million on Disney Plus. Ticket sales steeply declined in subsequent weeks and currently stand at 319 million globally, putting Black Widow on track to become one of the lowest grossing Marvel movies of all time. The Wall Street Journal, which broke the news of the lawsuit, reports that sources close to Johansson estimate that the decision to release the film concurrently on Disney Plus resulted in 50 million in lost bonuses. XD, what do you think about this whole sordid deal? We had her drop the bomb with this lawsuit, and then Disney clapped back at her, and it's been crazy. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are I agree with her 100%. When you give people a choice from going to the theaters to watch these movies to watching it on Disney Plus, you're cutting half of your money because I can get 10 to 15 people to come over and watch the movie with me instead of going to the theater where we all will be giving our money towards a ticket to watch the movie. And that's taken away from her pocket. So I get why she's suing.
Okay. Does that really happen? I mean, I always hear that brought up that, all my buddies are coming over and we're all going to watch whatever it is, the pay per view, whatever. But does that really happen?
It does. In some cases, I know for a fact. No, this is talk about Marvel, but when the Zack Snyder release on HBO Max for Justice League, I know a lot of people got together to watch that. And just imagine if those people were able to go to theater to see it, it would have been more profits towards the movie. Like
That's true. Yeah.
what's that? The latest Fast and Furious just flat out said it's going to be in theaters. We're not doing the website. And they did pretty good.
But they're not gonna do as good as they would have done in the good old days, you know, pre-pandemic.
Of course.
So that's the part that I worry about for some of these studios and stuff is they're saying these things and it sounds good, but when we really put the rubber to the road, I think this fall and such that we could be right back where we were last fall potentially.
Yeah, it
So
seems like we're heading that way.
yeah. So then what is your big bad movie release? Do you hold the movies more and more and more? Like, let's take this movie, for instance. This movie should have been out, what, well over a year ago, year and a half ago?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
just before the pandemic or right around the time during the pandemic it was supposed to be released, I believe.
And then they pushed it, then they pushed it again, and it was like, what did she expect them to do? I mean, at some point, you had a reveal in that movie that should have taken place prior to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I won't say what it is.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, I know what you mean. That reveal was really big.
Right.
And to actually wait this long, I guess with the reveal is the reason why we're getting the Hawkeye series in November.
And I think that's gonna drop regardless of what's going on in the world. I think Disney's at a point financially where they're gonna say, "We're dropping this stuff regardless of what's going on." I think the world could be burning and they'll still be dropping shows.
Well, Disney has created this trend of continuing the story. And everything is tied to this. I recently seen a video someone made how the ending of Loki was tied to the ending of WandaVision. And it was amazing to see how much they're all connected. And with that being said, I would really like for Disney on their part to respect their actors because they are a major part of the story.
Okay, let's get into this. Is this disrespect or is this just business?
It feels like both. We told you one thing, but we're going to have to do it this way to keep the business moving.
I kind of find it hard to believe that Disney, knowing they shelled out this agreement, they probably have some of the best lawyers in the world. Knowing they shelled out, had this agreement,
Mhm.
I find it hard to believe that they didn't say, "Here's some of Disney Plus money, and here's to cover the lowers box office sales." I kind of find it funny that they just didn't do that to begin with. That just seems to me like something they would do, especially for the key actors that they've had, and she is one of them. She's one of the top, what would you say, 4 actors that they've had?
Yeah. What this going to do is, and I believe she's going to be the genesis to this new movement is we want insurance when we sign these contracts. If something were to happen, we still get paid.
That's such a slippery slope to me. As a business owner myself, I look at that and go, man, but what about conditions and market forces and stuff that are going on? I mean, Disney didn't start the pandemic, and it's hurt them a lot, especially with their whole schedule having to move back. I mean, this is going to be probably one of the worst reporting years they'll ever had. From it would be 2020 to 2021.
But what Disney to me tried to do is take advantage of the people who wanted to get back to life as normal and release it in theaters and still cater to the people who want to sit at home,
Right.
who didn't want to go out. But when you do that, you run the risk of cutting your profits in half. But you can't go against your original word to her if you're going to make a move like this.
Now, let's kind of unpack going forward. I'm one of those people, I've always hated the theater. I don't, I'm not even including the pandemic.
Okay.
I've always disliked the theater. I typically get some individual next to me that wants to eat like a 5-course meal at a movie theater. I just think movie theaters are set up improperly to begin with. Like, I don't want somebody breathing right on me or behind me when I watch a movie. I want to enjoy it. I want to get into it and stuff. And uh, I know the fidelity of the audio and the gigantic screen is way better at a movie theater. But at home, I don't have so and so right next to me just pounding popcorn and eating like a full, you know, 4-course meal with appetizers and drinks and talking and all that stuff. What do you say to that?
I agree and disagree. I love the movie theater, for the experience to for the audience, that real fans that come out like for Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Now for Endgame, when they played the trailers, people were talking and it was really getting annoying to me. I'm like, man, they better not start talking during this movie. I'm gonna be ticked off. I've been waiting since Infinity Wars to see this movie. They better be quiet. But when the movie started, everybody was completely silent. And if
Oh,
you've
well.
seen Endgame, that special moment at the end, Avengers Assemble, everybody's cheering, everybody's excited. The energy was amazing. And it's like, that's what you go to the movies for.
I used to go to the movies with a friend of mine, Sean Davis, no relation. But he would, before the movie started, he would say, "Everybody, shut up." And we would, he would scream it in the theater, and I'm like, "Whoa!" There's like 100 of them and 2 of us, but he wasn't playing.
Man,
Wasn't
I
playing.
feel like this. If you go see a Marvel movie, and this is my suggestion, you have to go to the Thursday night opening for the movie.
Okay.
You have to go before the people who finally got time off work to go see it. You need to go early. You need to be one of the first ones to see it, because in that crowd, it's going to be people who want to know what's going on with the story and they don't want to fall into the trap of the internet of someone leaking the scene or anything.
Right.
They want to
Yep.
be able to see it first.
Yep.
So when you go when it opens, you have a better chance of being able to enjoy the show.
Now I fall into the camp of people that want to walk out to their living room at 8 in the morning and watch the debut movie Friday morning and just be like, yeah, I can pause it. Okay, cool. And now I can unpause it and I can go back. And I'm willing to pay the premium for that. So I'm trying to understand, like, it must just be the group watching. Maybe that's the only way that it is impact. I'll even pay more if that helps them to keep doing this. If they say you got to
Mm.
pay $50, I'll pay it. And just so I can be at home. And then guess what? I can run right in the studio, or I can have my wireless microphone and I can call you, John, Alex, or Mel, and we could do a podcast right from my living room. We could do it. It's feasible. So
The
it'd be awesome.
the only way I would do that if they had a bundle to where you get a certain amount of movies that release where you can watch.
Okay. I would be okay with that. I just want them to keep doing this process. So many people are saying, no, go away from this process and get it out of the homes. And I'm like, no, this is the future. Leave it like that. I mean, crying
I like
babies,
it.
nope, none in my living room.
One
What were you
risk
going to
do
say?
one risk do I believe they may have is, you have to think about it this way. If you're streaming a movie like Black Widow on your TV, what's stopping you from taking something and recording it on your own and just having it?
Happens at the theater.
Yeah, but it's going to be even easier at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Simply, I'd just fire up some of my screen recording software, mixer, and I'd have it if I wanted it. I'm not doing all that, and I'm not into all that. I don't go looking for torrents anymore and all that stuff. I did that when I was younger and stuff, but as a grown man, I just don't do that stuff anymore.
Well, I just know there are people out there that would do something like that, and that can take away from the profits that the movie should generate, according to the contract that she signed,
Yeah,
that will impact her reasoning for starting this lawsuit.
she's gonna get this money. I understand both sides of this situation.
Hmm.
I'm trying to look at it from the business perspective, but she's gonna get this money. She's gonna get her money, if not more, because they don't need the bad press,
Right.
and then two, look at all she has done for their company. Like,
And what she can continue to do, because with this multiverse they're going into, I mean, she can
here,
come back.
here we go, multiverse of madness, everybody. But another, you just brought me right into where I want to go. We've got her disenfranchised. And then John was saying a while ago, I think it was John, that Robert Downey Jr. had unfollowed a bunch of Marvel accounts. And I was like, is this how it's going to end? You know, they had a great run and now she's suing and he's pouting possibly and so you know what I mean? Like, is this how this run is going to go down? Is that how it typically ends? Any thoughts?
I would hope not, because I would hope not, because these guys are still important, regardless of them being dead. They're still important to the franchise. Just look
Most
at
certainly.
Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is like done, but we still want him back. We still want him back as Wolverine.
Right. He's like 85 years old and we're like, "Yeah, start working out, bro. Get in shape, man. You're going for it. You got to come in and hit them with the guns." But yeah, we ask a lot of these people. And I bet you it's not money. I bet you it's respect because she probably has all the money she could ever need, want, and stuff. I bet you it's more to do with respect. I bet you that's how some of those ones that have, um, characters may or may not any longer be alive in Marvel. Maybe they're the ones that seem like they're like disrespected or something. That's how I'm taking it. I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, respect goes a long way. But
Yeah.
as a fan, just a fan of the story, we understood why you had to switch out Terrence Howard for Don Cheadle. We understood that. We understood what happened with Edward Norton and was it Michael Ruffin or whatever his name is? Bruce
Mark
Banner.
Ruffalo.
We understand with that. But it kills the vibe of the story when you to keep switching actors.
Can I say something from the business perspective? I've had people do this to me. Don't, if you're an
Mhm.
actor or your talent, don't negotiate in the moment. Wait
Mm.
till the contract stuff comes back around. Don't do something and then try to renegotiate in the moment. It sounds good. It sounds like you got them over a barrel and stuff, but I'm telling you what, man, on the business side of things, when somebody does that to you, you're like, "Oh, yes, we can in fact do the show without you. We can do the movie without you. We can keep going." You know what I mean? It just happens. People get replaced for that reason all the time because that's kind of a respect thing too. Like you're not trusting that you're going to get taken care of on the back end. I mean, think of what Terrence Howard would have made over the course of this run, as opposed to being one and done, thinking you're bigger than life.
Man, I still waiting for him to get in the War Machine outfit suit. When he said next time, baby, it's like cool. And, oh, he's gone.
He picked on the wrong bear. But yeah, I think that a lot of these actors are having some sort of internal struggle with some of this stuff because when you get written off or recast or what have you, that
Mhm.
that is a humbling experience, and a lot of these individuals are not used to being second fiddle or being overlooked and stuff like that, so it can be a big blow to their ego.
I just say don't replace Samuel Jackson with the All-State guy.
Oh, that would be great. Snake Doctor Fury. He sell you insurance and then land a helicarrier in your yard. Um, the next thing is there anything else you want to talk about on that
No,
subject?
no,
Okay.
sir. Let's keep going.
Okay. Next, what I wanted to talk about is what if dot 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 question mark. Um, it's scheduled to debut on August 11th, and we know this season's going to be 10 episodes. Oh, I bet you they're going to be short, but we'll get to that in a second. And then they're going to release weekly until October 13th. And
Mm.
Kevin Feige has already stated that we're going to get a season 2 of 10 more episodes. So, XD, what are you thinking when you see the previews and stuff? I think the episodes are going to be super short. What say you?
I hope not. I really do hope they're not short. I'm already expecting a good show, a little on the emotional side because you get to hear Chadwick Boseman again, but I'm hoping that it's an actual length of a story instead of just something that's like 5-10 minutes and it's like, oh, that's it.
I'm thinking possibly like the Bad Batch, like those
Hmm.
episodes are like they say they're like 20 minutes or so, but when you get to the opening, here's the recap, and then here's the long outro, and it's like it's not that really that much of content. And that's what I'm expecting. I haven't been able to find anywhere what the run times are gonna be, but I'm kind of worried about that. But it could still just end up being just great, no matter how short or long they are.
Right. Well, one thing that I've always liked about Marvel that I wish DC would adapt is Marvel likes to tell the story. And I'm just hoping that with the What If series, they take their time to tell the story and not rush through it.
Right.
Rushing
More.
through it, I'm sorry,
No, I
rushing
was just gonna.
through it, rushing through it to me, you get the first release of Justice League. And I call that the Super Friends movie. And the Zack Snyder version was Justice League. We want the Justice League. We don't want the rush and get it out just so we can get paid. We want the actual story.
Right. So maybe more WandaVision-ish than than other kind of episodes. WandaVision kind of paced out, I thought, pretty nicely. Um,
Yes, WandaVision was amazing.
but some of these other ones, they're like, bam, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And you're like,
Right.
what? What? We got a lot to tie up in one episode. They're like, don't worry, hold my iced tea. I get out there and make this happen. You're like, you didn't answer this. Couple problems here. That's really the most I wanted to talk about was the Scarlett Johansson situation, and then some more topical Disney versus other actors type stuff, and then the what if, since it's coming up very fast, and I'm super duper excited. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap her up?
um, I just wanted to reveal I'm also excited because I was one of the suckers that went out and bought that horrible Avengers game.
Oof.
But they're releasing the Black Panther DLC coming up.
Uh-oh, are you there?
I'm so Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you got cut. You said they're releasing the Black
Sorry
Panther.
about that. Yeah, they're releasing the Black Panther character on the game now. And I'm excited about that.
The only thing I want to say about this game is, well, I'm going to say two things. One, don't sell a game that's 1/16 finished and then sell me the other portions of the finished game. That's number one. I'm really getting frustrated with video game companies doing that.
Hmm.
And then two, he should have been in the game from the start. It's called Avengers. Like anybody that's been an Avenger should have been in the game from the start.
I understand why he's not though, because the game came out around the time Chadwick passed.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't want to make a buck off the character, with him passing.
But now it's okay. You know what I mean? Now they're like, yeah, enough time has passed. You know what I mean? They're just ruthless. Companies
I
are ruthless.
People are ruthless. I had someone try to tell me a helicopter joke that included,
Uh-oh, you keep cutting out.
and it wasn't funny at all. It really ticked me off.
You cut out.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
They said a helicopter joke.
That included Kobe Bryant.
That is horrible.
Exactly.
Yikes. Yeah, people are terrible. Like, just on a whole, the world is a mess and people are terrible. That's horrific. But it is all about that money now. So, what do we expect?
Cue the
Anything
Ted,
else?
cue the Ted DiBiase laugh with that one.
Yeah, the money, 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 money. And it's even happening. Unfortunately, it's even happening here. It's about the freaking money. There it goes. Drop it like it's hot. Well, XD, I thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That was a lot of fun. And hopefully, we'll be seeing more or hearing more from XD at TPE Network, the network he helped make famous.
All right. Look forward.
Well, until the next time for XD, I'm Hank, and we're signing off.